Let us start our science class. Okay, in previous class we have discussed about the topic that is materials, in that metals and non-metals. In last class we come to know that metals are having unique physical properties while comparing to the non-metals. What are the physical properties of metals? Yeah, they are shiny, upon that very hard, malleability, ductility, sonorous, conductivity of heat and electricity, all those different characteristics we have discussed. Upon that, they are not there in non-metals. We come to know that non-metals are very dull looking, not very hard, they are not giving sonorous sound or as ringing sound, they are not a good conductor of heat and electricity, all those things we have studied. After that we come to know that the chemical properties of metals and non-metals. In that we have listed number of chemical properties like reaction with oxygen. In that we come to know that what is the difference between when the reactions between the metals and non-metal when it react with oxygen. We come to know that after doing an activity, conducting an activity, we come to know that magnesium ribbon, while burning it gives is oxides of magnesium, magnesium ribbon it is, magnesium oxide. Similarly the rusting of iron is also a oxidation of iron. Yes, after that we have checked its whether it is a basic solution or acidic solution by doing litmus test. Yes, after that we come to know that same thing, one more oxidation we can see in the copper water bottle or any vessels, cooking utensil if you have, means we can see that is a green deposition of that. Just try the chemical reaction occurs over there. Okay. So upon that what our silver anklets, our earrings, all those things, the tanning of that one also because of that is oxidation. After that we discussed about the reaction with water, metals and non-metals, what happens while it react with non-metal. By doing an activity we come to know that sodium is very reactive element, it is vigorously it is reacting with what water. We observe the observation, what it is happens, there is a formation of sodium hydroxide along with the liberation of hydrogen gas. In that also we have tested the litmus test, phenolphthalein test, we come to know that that is a base. Yes. So similar experiment we have conducted in non-metals also, we have got the the difference we come to know what happens when it react with metals and non-metals, both water. Okay, next we will see one more chemical property, that is the reaction with acid. Both metals and non-metals, what happen when it react with acid. So in today's class we are going to study about the reactions with acid. Here both metals and non-metals, we will see one by one. Okay, write down the heading, reaction with acid. Okay, here we are going to do an activity, in that we will come to know how the metals and non-metals are reacting, whether metals are reacting or non-metals are reacting with acids. Okay, so we will do an activity. Yes, to do this activity we need different metals and non-metals. Okay, we can take in test tube or else we can take it in beakers. Okay, here I am taking in test tubes. Okay, small solution of acids we are going to add to that one. Here mainly we are preparing dilute hydrochloric acid HCl and dilute sulfuric acid. We are not using any concentrated or else we are not using any nitric acid here. Only simple acids, that is a dilute hydrochloric acid and dilute sulfuric acid we are going to try. Okay, we will try first in which one, dilute hydrochloric acid. You have to observe carefully you have to observe, then only we can get the observation. Otherwise it is very difficult, because we know that how quick it is chemical reactions. Okay, it is not lasting, because it is very quickly it is reacting, so you have to observe the reaction. See here, I am taking different metals and non-metals, adding first set I am adding dilute hydrochloric acid. In next we will try the same experiment in dilute hydrochloric acid. After doing an experiment, we are taking a matchstick and just burning that matchstick, and we are taking that burning matchstick near the mouth of that test tube. We will see what it is happens to that. Okay, so we will do an activity. So here, okay, what I said, we are taking different metals and non-metals. Now I am going to add dilute hydrochloric acid to this. Okay, see here, I have taken 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 test tubes, different test tube. In that, in first test tube I have taken magnesium ribbon. Okay, in second test tube iron, see small powders of iron. Okay, I have taken. In third, copper, you can see here copper color, you can see, no. In fourth, I have taken sulfur powder. In last, I have taken a zinc granule, small piece of zinc, you can see, no, here at the bottom. Yes, see here I have just named like this, all names I have written in the, I have labeled. Now I am going to add, okay, drop by drop I am going to add HCl. It is not concentrated, so I am using a dropper to this one. See here, I am adding hydrochloric acid to each test tube. Observe carefully, see something it is happening in this. See, you can see here the observation in this, we can see some observation. So observe carefully. For each test tube I am adding drop. Now observe carefully, students, then only you can get the observation and we can infer here. Any changes you can see? I will see here what it is. We can see the reaction. See here, there is a reaction. In this test tube we can't see any reaction. See here, in this test tube also we can't, but in this test tube we can see the reaction. So now what I am going to do, see here, there is a liberation of something. See here, there is a liberation of something. You can see the gas liberation, no? See, actually that gas is a hydrogen. See, I am doing one, what I said, I am going to show the matchstick, burning matchstick. You can see the sound now here. Is what happened? Pop sound we got. If you are going to show near to the mouth of all the test tube, we can see the difference. Which test tube is going to react? There is a liberation of hydrogen gas. Because of the presence of hydrogen gas, here we got the pop sound. If you are going to show to this test tube, we can get, in this test tube we can get, in this test tube can't, because won't get any sound, because there is no reaction here. In this there is no reaction, so we won't get any sound, because this is also reacting. You can see the liberation of hydrogen gas, we can get the pop sound. So what we got from this? Out of these 5 test tube, 3 test tube also reacted. 3 metals also reacted with HCl, and there is a liberation of hydrogen gas, so we got the pop sound. In these 2, sulfur and copper, it is not reacting with dilute hydrochloric acid, so we are not getting any pop sound. Okay, pop sound we can get when the hydrogen is liberating. Same experiment will try in hydrochloric acid, we have tried. Now we are going to try in sulfuric acid. I am not going to take all things, because here we got that sulfur is a non-metal, it is not going to react with acid. But here one other all metals are reacted with HCl, but why it is not reacting? This is copper is also metal, but it is not reacting. So we'll check whether this metal copper is reacting with H2SO4 or not. Okay, same experiment I will try by using H2SO4. I am not taking all metals. I have taken here magnesium, copper, upon that zinc. We come to know that zinc and magnesium, it is going to react with hydrochloric acid, but still I am taking because it is very vigorously it is reacting. So to show you, just I have taken that too. Okay, so I will add, yes, here I will add H2SO4. Here I am adding H2SO4. What happened now? What happened? See, this is same as that, it is going to react vigorously. Here this is also, it is not reacting. See, it is not reacting with H2SO4. But if you are going to see carefully this copper, it is reacting, started reaction, not like this, it is started reaction. Okay, you have to observe closely, but it will take time. See, there is a liberation of gas, we can see here. See, it is slightly, it is reacting, not like that. Okay, now if you are going to see the match sticks, same sound will get. So once again I am not going to do that pop sound. Okay, already we got that pop sound, how quick it is. Yes. After doing this activity, we observe the observation. What we got the observation? Metals, all the metals are reacting with acid. Sometimes it react with HCl, sometimes it react with H2SO4, but it is not what we need, whether the metals are reacting with acids or not. So it is reacting with acid. What about the non-metal? I have taken phosphorus powder, sulfur powder I have taken. What happened to that? It is not reacting. So we come to know that metals are reacting with acids and it release hydrogen gas. That gas, how we come to know that hydrogen gas? We observe the fumes coming out, upon that we got the pop sound. The presence of hydrogen gas is confirmed by bringing the matchstick, burning matchstick, or else by candle, burning candle near the gas. What happened? And when the burning matchstick produce pop sound, then it means hydrogen gas is evolved. It is found that copper does not react with HCl and it react with dilute H2SO4. Okay, what we got here for metals? For metals are reacting. So I will take metal here. Yeah. Metal is going to react with HCl or else H2SO4, and we are getting hydrogen gas. See, hydrogen liberation we come to know. Like this means it is gas. Now tell me, what is one more result or else one more product in that solution? But we can't see any what observation in that solution. There is a solution, formation of solution, that is a salt of respective metals. Okay, that is a salt of respective metal. Instead of this, if you are going to take magnesium, we'll take M, that is a magnesium, metal magnesium. We are adding HCl. There is a formation of, yes, magnesium salt, that is magnesium chloride it is. Okay, magnesium chloride. Now what happened? Magnesium react with HCl and it is giving MgCl. Okay, MgCl, because magnesium it is react with MgCl2. It is, see, not here, I have written ulta actually. See, MgCl2. Okay, what is it? That is a salt of respective metal. Upon that there is a liberation of hydrogen gas. Same thing, if you are going to see H2SO4, we will get here respective salt, magnesium sulfate will get instead of magnesium chloride. The hydrogen gas is hydrogen itself. Come to know? Yes. Now, one more thing, student. One more more example we'll take zinc here. Zinc in HCl what will form? What is the product here? Along with the liberation of hydrogen gas, there is a formation of zinc chloride. Write down the formula how it is. Complete this reaction. Complete this reaction is what is a chemical reaction? Will got balanced chemical reaction. You have to write. Okay. Try to balance this all. Okay. Yes. Next same thing. If you are taking zinc plus H2SO4, what will get? Will get zinc sulfate along with the liberation of hydrogen gas. So write down here. Write down the reactions. Yes. Now what we come to know? Generally, the metals react with acids. It gives hydrogen gas along with the formation of salt of that respective metals. Next, what about the non-metals? We didn't see any reaction while doing the experiment. We come to know that sulfur is not going to react with acid. So, how whether we can write the chemical reaction? No. Now what it indicates? Generally non-metals do not react with acids. So we can't get any observation, that is any changes we can't get. Okay, we are not getting any observation. So come to know now, clearly we come to know that what happens, that pop sound of burning mastic gives the pop sound that indicates the liberation of hydrogen gas. Yes. Next same experiment or else same thing, we'll see the reaction. This is the reaction with acid. Next same thing we'll see the reaction with base. Next we'll see the reaction with base. What it is reacting with base, whether the metals and non-metals, whether it is reacting with base or not. Okay. So after studying the reaction with acid, we are going to see the reaction with base. Okay, we'll do a small activity. I will say to you student, what are the different things, the apparatus we need for these practicals or else that is activity experiment. Okay, we have to take metals. Any metal, will take aluminium metal here, aluminium foil or any piece of aluminium foil or anything. Upon that, here we need a base. Which base is very easy to us to take in lab? Is sodium hydroxide. So we will take pellets of sodium hydroxide and will dissolve with will dissolve with water and will make the solution of sodium hydroxide, and will add metal to this sodium hydroxide and will see what is the observation we are getting. Upon that, there is a liberation of gas or not. Upon that, we will see by using the matchstick, same as pop sound what we have done now. Okay, so we'll start. Okay. Students, now tell me whether you got any pop sound. Yes, we got pop sound, same as that what we have done in the acids. Now what it indicates, pop sound? It indicates that it liberates hydrogen gas. Generally, the reactions of metals with base release hydrogen gas. Like in case of many metals, they react with sodium hydroxide to produce hydrogen gas. Yes, now what about the non-metals? Here, the reactions of base with non-metal is quite complex it is. It is reacting with base, but it is not giving any hydrogen liberation, so that we won't get any pop sound. So that activity we are not going to do in our class. Okay, it is not there in your, it is not mentioned in our textbook, so we are not doing that. But here what happened? Reaction takes place, but there is no gas, hydrogen gas is liberating, so we won't get any pop sound. Yes. Next, so that what and all we have studied? We have studied the reaction with acid and reaction with base. Next, one more reaction, that is a displacement reaction. That is a last part of our lesson, displacement reaction. Do you know, student, what is displacement reaction? Displacement. Just will take one simple example in your bench or else in your neighbor, one who is sitting near to you. What we are doing? We are taking or else we are removing your neighbor boy or else girl, and we are adding one more student to in that place. What we are doing? Your neighbor, your friend, you are sitting together, so we are going to take or else we are changing his place, we are exchanging the place. So what we are doing here? Here just we are not exchanging, here we are taking that boy from that place, and we are just replacing one more boy to that one. Okay, so I will show here how it is displacement. Okay, displacement reaction means here A and B, they are sitting together, C is next to him. What we are doing? We are bringing this C to this place, and we are taking this B out. See here what happened, we'll get AC plus B. Okay, this is called as displacement reaction. Now can you define this displacement reaction? What happens here? During the reaction. It is in chemistry, so we are taking reaction. What? During reaction, if a metal replaces another metal from its compound, then such reactions are called as displacement reaction. Come to know here, only this is possible in case of metals. Okay, displacement reaction is possible only in case of metal. It is not occurs or does not takes place in non-metals. What it is the definition? What is the condition here? During the reaction, if a metal replaces the other metals from its compound, then such reactions are called as displacement reaction. Okay, so we'll try this displacement reaction. We'll do a small activity and we'll try and we'll see what is the observation we can get from this. Okay. Now we'll start an activity. Before that, we have to know what are the things or else what are the materials required for this activity. What and all we have taken is we are going to take different metals and metal solutions. We'll see what and all we have. Okay. See here, I have prepared copper sulfate. See here I have written, whether you can see or not. See here A, I have mentioned this test tube as A, B, C, D and E. Okay, and each I have taken different. So here in first A, beaker A, beaker name is A. In that I have taken copper sulfate solution. Now tell me, how can I prepare this copper sulfate? Simply we can take copper sulfate, okay, and we can dissolve that by adding water. Each solution I have prepared like that only. So in first A, I have taken copper sulfate solution. In B, same copper sulfate solution. In C, zinc sulfate solution. Zinc sulfate I have taken, powder it is, and I have added water just and mixed, okay, stir and mixed. Next, iron sulfate in this and same zinc sulfate in this, okay. So I have taken 2 copper sulfate, 2 zinc sulfate and 1 iron sulfate. I have named A, B, C, D and E. Now the thing is, what I am going to do to this, okay. For each test tube, I will add different metals. For each test tube, I am going to add different metals. In first test tube, I will add a zinc granule. Have you seen zinc granules? See, it is a piece of zinc. See, I am going to take zinc granules. See, you can see now, I am going to add zinc granules. For second, I am going to take 1 iron nail. So I am going to add iron nail to this one, okay. Yes, for next test tube, I will add copper turnings. See, this is a copper turnings. You can see now, copper turnings. So I am going to add the copper turnings to that. For a D beaker, I am going to add once again copper turning to this. And for last test beaker name is E. For that I will add 1 more iron nail, okay. Next we will see, it will take little time to occur the reaction. Next we will see what it is happens to each beaker. What is the changes we can see in each beaker? See, in first beaker, how was the zinc granules color? We can see here zinc granule is which color? Yeah, very shiny it is. Zinc color, you can see like aluminium it is. See how nicely we can see. I will remove one piece and I will show you student how it was. See, before it was like this. Now what happened? It changed the color. Can you see any changes? Yes, there is a change in its color. Now I will replace this one. Yeah. For this, what happens? See, it is very slowly takes place. It will take 5 minutes at least, minimum 5 minutes it will take. So we can see somehow the reaction here. See here, you can see the deposition of any color over here. Yes, we can see the changes. See, it will take a minimum 5 minutes I said. After 5 minutes, we can see the change of this color. Color itself, it will change. Okay, so here we can see the deposition of something, the surface of this. Okay, same as that we'll observe in beaker C. Whether we can see any change? No. Same as this copper turning, there is no change in its color. What about in this? What about in this? There is no change. I will take and I will show you student. See here, there is no change in copper turning. Same as it is remains like this. One more here. This is which solution? Zinc sulfate. We can't see any deposition in this. So what we observed out of these 5, only observation we can see in this. There is a changes in this first A and B beaker. There is no changes in C, D and E beaker. Now what it indicates? Just guess out student what it means. Why it is giving such a result to us? Yes. See, now once again we'll see what happened to this. Yes, there is a deposition of this. See, here it is completely, it is changed its color. Yes. After the observation, what we can infer student? After observing this observation, what we can infer is, now in beaker A, zinc replaces copper from copper sulfate. What happened? Zinc. We are adding zinc. No, we added zinc. That zinc is replaced copper. Copper from copper sulfate. That is why the blue color of the copper sulfate disappear. It will take time. I said after 5 minutes we can see the disappearing of copper color. Okay, copper sulfate color. And a powdery red mass of copper is deposited at the bottom of the beaker. Okay, at the bottom of the beaker. Upon that, in zinc granules we can observe the color change. Already we observed. Now tell me, what is the reaction takes place over there? What is the reaction takes place? Can you guess any chemical reactions? Yes. Now what the solution we have taken? What solution we have taken? Is copper sulfate solution. Which color it was? Yes, we got it is blue colored solution. Now what happened? What we added to that? That is a zinc granules, Zn. Now predict the chemical reaction. What happened here? Zinc replaces this copper. Zinc replaced copper. So what we got? Zinc sulfate and copper as it is remained over there. What happened? Zinc sulfate we are getting, copper is remain. Zinc sulfate plus copper. I am not going to balance. Check it whether it is balanced chemical reaction or not and try to balance that one. Okay? Yes. In first case I said. In second case what happened? Copper sulfate we have taken. Same copper sulfate we have taken. We added iron nail to that one. What happened? We got the observation, the deposition of copper in where is. Now tell me, what is the chemical reaction? Just try out here. What is the reactions, what is products we can get in that? Just try same as that we can get here. Iron sulfate plus copper, it is remaining over there. Okay, next tell me, that is in first A beaker, in second B beaker we got like this. What about in C, D and E? Whether we got any reactions or else any changes? No change. In C beaker we didn't get any change, in D we didn't get, and E we didn't get any change. Now what happened? It is not going to react in that 3 beaker. Now we will see why it is so. Okay? What? Since we do not see any change in C, beaker C, we can infer that copper is not able to replace zinc from zinc sulfate. In C what is that? Here what we have taken? Zinc sulfate. We have taken zinc sulfate. We added copper. Now it means that what? We can infer that copper is not able to replace zinc. This copper is not able to replace zinc. Same as that, in case of D, iron sulfate we are taking and we are adding copper to that one. Here also same thing it is happens. Okay, copper is not able to replace iron. In last beaker we are taken ZnSO4, that is a zinc sulfate. Iron we added. So here also we can see iron is not going to replace Zn, that is a zinc. Now what we can infer here is copper. We can infer that copper is not able to replace zinc from zinc sulfate. Now question mark, why it is so? When zinc can replace copper in A, why cannot copper replace in beaker C? Okay, same thing we have taken, only the metal is different. Why it is not going to replace? Now here, see it is, we know that the science is not simply, we can't say anything in science. See, science is not arbitrary we are saying. What is arbitrary? contrary. We are saying what it means. What it means? There is some fact. There is some rules in science. According to that only it is occur. We can't predict anything in science. So there is a well designed rule over here. See, that is, it follows definite rules based on the facts. Okay, that rule is, here zinc is more reactive than copper and iron. This is a rule over here. Zinc is more reactive element while comparing to the copper and iron. Because of that, what happens here? In first case, zinc is going to replace this. But in this case, it can't. Copper is not it is not more reactive than zinc. So zinc is very, very strong reactive metal. Come to know? So more reactive elements replace a less reactive metals, but a less reactive one cannot replace more reactive metals. Come to know here? Now you can understand? We can understand why there are no displacement reaction in D, E and C. Okay? Yes. Now, what we can infer from this is metals can actually be arranged as per their reactivity order. Okay? Thus, a more reactive metal will always displace a less reactive metals from its compound. But a less reactive metals one cannot replace a more reactive metals. Examples we got: when zinc is reacted with copper sulfate solution, then the copper will be displaced by zinc. As zinc is more reactive than copper, the blue color of the copper sulfate disappears and a powdery red mass of copper is deposited at the bottom of the beaker. This is a main rules upon that main thing, what it is happens in both A and B beakers. Come to know now what is displacement reaction. There is a we can see, if you are going to see the metals, we can see the arrangement on the basis of more reactive and less reactive. See here, potassium more reactive. Upon that, I will say you the order from the beginning: platinum, gold, silver, Hg, that is a mercury, copper, hydrogen, lead, Sn, Fe, Zn, aluminium, magnesium, calcium, sodium and potassium. Here potassium is most reactive, platinum is less reactive. So we are using platinum. Upon that, what a gold, silver, ornamental we are using for the ornamental purpose, jewelry, in jewels we are using. Okay, because we are feeling that we know that metals like platinum, gold and all, it is not reacting with anything. It is less reactive less reactive metals. Okay, the order of reactivity is like that. Okay, so we have completed entire chapter materials, that are metals and non-metals. Once we will glance, before that write down today's question, students. Yes, first question, write the chemical reaction between magnesium ribbon plus hydrochloric acid. Same, one more question, magnesium ribbon plus dilute H2SO4. Okay, balanced chemical reaction you have to write. Okay, next one more thing, try to write down the displacement reactions between copper sulfate plus zinc granule, copper sulfate plus iron nail. Okay, yes. Now we'll glance in 5 minutes from the beginning what and all we have studied. And first we come to know that difference between the physical properties of metals and non-metals. After that, we study the chemical properties of metals and non-metals. We come to know that how the metals and non-metals reacting with oxygen, reacting with water, all those things. In today's class, we come to know that the reaction of metals with acids and reactions of non-metals with acids. Upon that, reactions of metals with base and reactions of non-metals with base. And finally, we come to know that it is a very famous reaction, that is a displacement reaction, just displacing the positions, okay, that is displacement reaction. We come to know that the definition: during reaction, if a metal replaces another metal from its compound, then such reactions are called as displacement reaction. So we have, by doing an activity, we come to know that which is a more reactive metal and which is a less reactive metal. So we have got the sequence of this, which is most reactive metals, okay. So we come to know that what is the chemical reactions takes place in that. And finally, we studied about the uses and I forgot to tell that which one, uses of metals and non-metals. We are using metals in machineries, all those things. Nowadays, wherever we are going to see, there will be a metals. We can't imagine the life without metals. Everywhere we can see these metals. Now tell me, where we are using non-metals? Yes, antiseptic agents, iodine solution we said. Upon that, crackers, in crackers, sulfur as a non-metal it is using. Upon that, purification of water, all those things. So the main thing, we are inhaling the non-metals like oxygen. Yes, so this is all about the what a summary of these materials chapter, metals and non-metals. Thank you, students.